You have your work friends and you have your college friends. She made the statement and said, that's why I'm your only friend. See, look, I'm the only one who showed up. Yeah, I'm your only friend. Having multiple friends was crazy. I thought if you could be a friend to everybody, you was really a friend to nobody. And that's how you end up here. 30 years old, trying to figure out, why do I not have enough friends? So, in what world would anyone take that as a compliment? That would be such an insult.
Subscribe, baby.
Greetings, my earthlings. Welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite Aqua and it is Corey's World. I'm here today with a sit down and talk video. I think you guys respond very well to those, so I'm going to just kind of dive more into like sit down and talking until it's time for another travel video. I've been thinking about dabbling into like just creating a whole new channel just for the folks who wants to see that type of content from me. So by the way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be up to date on all my latest videos. And if you're into travel, make sure you subscribe for that as well, because I have a lot of travel videos as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. All right, you guys, today's topic, if you can already tell by the title, it is honestly about being 30 and making friends. Like, when you're over a certain age, it really becomes like a thing. Like, oh my God, like you get to this point where you realize, maybe I don't have enough friends as I think I should. Social media has gotten to a point where you can see a bride and her 15 bridesmaids and it'll have you sitting there thinking like, oh my God, I don't have 15 friends. I have 3 at a max, and that's probably a stretch. I probably honestly only got 1 good friend. So to see videos like that, you see it all on social media, you see everybody hanging out with their girlfriends, they're going on big, large girls trips, and you just sit back and you realize like, I may not have the amount of friends that I thought I had. I might not be where I need to be at life socially, because there's a lot of introverts out there. It's a lot of loners, and most Aquarius women have this thing called the lone wolf syndrome, where we just automatically put ourselves in a box and we close people off, and then we'll turn around looking around like, oh my God, like we're turning around looking crazy like, where are all my friends gone? It's because we cut everybody off. So if you're anybody like me, or if you're just in general just an introvert, this video is for you. The first thing I wanted to talk about is, how do you get to this point where you're 30 years old and realize that you don't have any friends? You have to really think back to how your loneliness started, or how your like no friend having behind started, not having any friends, for lack of better words. It all probably started with how you grew up. That is a major thing. Parents will probably fight you on this and say, oh, I brought you up the best way I knew how, and you can't really fight the fact that you can't really argue with them, because that is true. Parents raise you the best way that they know how. So if you were a sheltered child growing up, you kind of already was to yourself. You kind of already was more self-sufficient. You kind of already just became inside of your own bubble, a hermit, if you will. That's why I love turtles. Anybody who knows me knows that turtles are like my favorite animal, because they're to themselves. They're hermits. They only come out when they feel like coming out. So I am a true introvert to the core. People don't understand or realize me coming home, like getting underneath my covers, reading a good book, or watching TV and eating my favorite junk food is heaven for me. I love that. I have to get away from people. My social battery runs low very quick, and my patience run low very quick. Sorry you guys if y'all can see like the glare in my glasses. I am so sorry, but it is what it is, so bear with me. So one of the things I wanted to dive deep into, besides the fact of kind of knowing where did the loneliness originate from, you have to really look at things from different aspects, and you really have to ask yourself, like, why am I lonely? And you really have to pinpoint each little thing. You have to make like different bullet points, and then you have to ask yourself, are you okay with being lonely? Are you okay with being to yourself? Is that really such a big deal? Is it really a bigger deal than what social media is making it. You know, we have all these people from the red pill community and just people in general. Oh, you're gonna be alone, you're gonna die alone. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, who said that was a bad thing? You know, but you do also have to have a balance. I am very big on you can't just be in this world just outright alone. Over time, you do have to grow your friend circle. Over time, you do have to explore. Over time, you have to get over those fears. And over time, you do have to interact with other people eventually. And that's how you end up here, 30 years old, trying to figure out, why do I not have enough friends? So the first thing I wanted to say is, it's hard making friends based on trying to create conversation. Trying to create conversation with people is, whew, because we all know introverts cannot stand small talk. Small talk is like, are you serious right now? Like, can we please talk about something like real here? My thing is, every conversation doesn't have to be deep, but every conversation ain't gotta be dense either. Like, can we have a little bit more substance in the conversation? And I know a lot of people out there would say, well, you're probably blocking your blessing because you don't know who you could be running into, who you could be talking to, and the conversation could progress over time. But my thing is, especially like a person like me, I have tunnel vision. Don't try to strike up a conversation with me when I'm in the grocery line. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, I'm trying to get in and try to get out. But over time, if it's people who you work with daily, you do have to eventually, you know, converse with them, because you're seeing them every single day. So you never know where that relationship could lead to. So if it's in your workplace, at school, a place where you go and see people over time, every day or whatever, you may want to, you know, explore having a certain relationship with them. But nevertheless, making friends at the age of 30 it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I've tried. So as you know, I am the Aquarius. We have the rest and be phase. We're told we're cold, we're told we're not warm, we're told we're not approachable, and it happens. I've been getting it all my life, but people do not understand the other side of that. Is like, really, I'm scared, I don't know what to say. So people take you looking like this as, oh, she's nasty, she's mean, she won't speak. And that's not the case. Really, me looking like this is, honestly, I'm shy and I'm scared, and I don't want to make small talk with you because I don't like it, so I assume you don't like it. And if I don't really have nothing to say, I'm not gonna strike up a conversation with you just because, you know. And you have some people, a lot of extroverts, they don't know how to be quiet. It's okay to be in a room with someone and not talk. I promise you, it's okay. Especially if you're in a room with an extrovert, they're not gonna get offended. Trust me, they're not. So I have this Libra friend, right? And she makes friends everywhere she goes. I am one of her best friends. I probably maybe one of the best friends who's known her the longest, but she has created friends over time. She's the person who can create a friend like that. And we're just the total opposite when it comes down to that. She's very social, she's very charismatic. I am too, very charismatic, but I save that energy for people who I know and feel comfortable with. She can give that energy out to anybody. I don't have enough energy to give that, and I'm using her as an example because you have people like that, and it doesn't mean nothing's wrong. You know, it's nothing wrong with you and it's nothing wrong with them. It's just that those are the differences between those two people. So you have someone who can go out into the world, can make friends with anybody, can make friends with someone at the gas station, can make friends with someone at a restaurant. And me personally, I don't, unfortunately, go out into the world looking for that energy. It honestly just comes to me. When it comes to me, that's how I know it's real sometimes, because you have people in your life who tends to stick to you and who tends to stay, because those people, they know you and they understand you, and they decide to check on you and not get mad when you don't like follow their lead when it comes down to that. I honestly never understood how people had more than 2, 3 at a max. That's my limit. But like I said, I'm using my best friend as an example. She has 10, not 10 associates, not 10 homegirls, 10 plus best. She puts a best in front of best friends. To me, I don't know, back then, call me crazy, I used to think that having multiple friends was crazy. I thought if you could be a friend to everybody, you was really a friend to nobody. But as I've gotten older, I realized that's not necessarily true. There is people who have the capacity to, you know, divide their love and attention amongst other people. Me, baby, I would be spread thin if I had honestly more than 3. That's just me personally. I used to think that something was honestly wrong because I couldn't make several friends. I would see people on social media with all these girls, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have 2 best friends. One is a guy and one is a girl. I love that I have that dynamic. That is good enough for me, but I will say it does make sense over time to at least gain more friends. But I promise you, I don't need another best friend. I don't. Having best friends is more intimate to me. Call me territorial, call me crazy, but I like to share those moments with certain people. I can't just imagine having like multiple best friends and you have to share your ups and downs with them, your trauma with them, your you know, imagine having to share, taking bits and pieces of you and dividing it up to so many people. I cannot do it. I cannot. I have a little bit of Scorpio in my chart, so I'm very private in a sense. So consider yourself lucky if you know like certain things about me, because I can't share that with everybody. I just can't. I honestly can't. But like I was saying, I thought that was a crazy thing to have multiple best friends until I got older and realized that like you can have more than 3 best friends. It takes me back to when I was watching the B. Simone podcast, Let's Try This Again, and she had Pretty V on there. And Pretty V is a Libra, just like my best friend. Those women are very, like I said before, charismatic, very nice. They're very sociable people, so a lot of people grab it. Even Cardi B, she's a Libra. Even think about Queen Naja. Those are all likable people, and I know a lot of people don't like Cardi B or Queen Naja. Just like they always get into some type of trouble, but for the most part, if you were homegirls or friends with her, you would probably say you would have a good time, because Libras are very, just like I said before, they're very social and charismatic. So back to B. Simone's podcast. So Pretty V said something that she would not try again, and that's having multiple best friends. And she said when she was in college, she made a lot of friends, and it dawned on me that might just honestly be a Libra thing. So I thought back to it. Most Libras are very social people, and you can't fault them for that. You can't say, oh, they're just doing too much. That's honestly probably just how they are. Now you got some people like the Leos, you can tell those are more attention seekers, my personal opinion. And you have Libras, that's just who they genuinely are. They just genuinely are just nice people. Now don't get it twisted, I can do a series on the dark-sided Libra, because those dark-sided Libra females, they can be a little controlling, conniving, and manipulative. I stand by that. Most Libras are very manipulative. Call me out if you want to. That's a fact. Most Libras are very manipulative, but for the most part, they are very fun to be around and are good friends. All right, trying to make friends at the age of 30 or 30 plus, like I said, is very, it has its challenges. I'm going to use another fellow YouTuber as an example. Before I say this, I believe she's very emotionally intelligent to know where I'm coming from with this. So hopefully she gets it. But her name is Anastasia Mariah. She has a YouTube channel as well. She's more in the beauty range, so she has beauty content. She does a lot of other lifestyle videos as well. So I'm using her as an example because she just popped on my mind, because I just got done watching her video, so I'm just gonna use her. So basically we collabed before. Those videos are privated. Most videos that I did collabs with other people, I end up privating those videos because I wanted to take my YouTube channel in a different direction. However, she's been cool over the years, and I'm using this as an example to say, over the years, as far as associates, my thing when I try to connect with people is simply because they reached out to me first. She reached out to me a while ago, and we just ended up, you know, conversing over time. I've been to her place before, and everything was cool. But I will say this, when I feel people kind of pushing back, and she did give me the courtesy to let me know, hey, she's just been going through an awful lot. And I know how that is. One thing about friendships cannot be forced. And that's something that I totally understand. And you gotta think about, in today's age, like, people have past traumas, people have gone through things. So sometimes when someone is trying to pull or reel them in, it could be a red flag to them. And that's one thing I do not want to be. So I totally understand when someone pulls back. I give people the grace. I give them at least 2 tries. And then after that, if I realize that it's not reciprocated, that they're trying to reach out to me, then I let it go. And that's something I understand and I don't take personal. So I was using her as an example because we did start reaching out, or I mostly started reaching out. And once I realized that, hey, it was me reaching out a little bit more, I was like, ooh, wait a minute, let me slow down. Let me slow down because baby girl, I ain't gonna be the only one reaching out. And I know she's emotionally intelligent enough to know that, like, you know, she gets it and I get it too. So that's just how it is. Like I said before, people have red flags. Certain, you know, the way other people move may be a little bit suspicious to them. Like, why you keep reaching out to me all of a sudden? Like, you know, they may have their guard up. So that's something, as me being an empath, I can understand and not take personal, because if somebody kept reaching out to me too, I question their motives on why they're trying to get so close to me. So that's another thing. I've tried with a few other people and it just doesn't click. It just lets me know that certain people I'm going to click and deem as a long-term friend, and some people they're just not ready for me, you know, as a person. I don't take it personal. I'm like, oh my god, it's me, I'm weird, I can't make friends. It's just like, I look at it like, oh, okay, and I move on. Like, it is what it is. Most people who I end up being friends with, like genuinely connecting with, is Libras, Aries, and Cancer sometimes too. I had a long-term Cancer friend, but I personally had to cut her off. That's a story time for another time. I personally had to cut her off, but I do have another Cancer friend, and she's a low maintenance friend, and I'm totally okay with that. I have another low maintenance Cancer friend, but again, these aren't my best friends. Again, I have 2 best friends. One's a Libra and one is a Virgo, and that is a male. Other than that, everyone else that I'm naming, these are just long-term friends. When we get together, but we don't call and text each other every day. Matter of fact, we may call and text each other every blue moon, which means every 6 months, maybe every year. I'm okay with that, but the older I get, I realize, hey, I may need to broaden my friend group. And this leads me into my next topic. So I wanted to dabble into when you do have the same friends that you hang around over time and you want to broaden your friend group. The friends that you do have do end up becoming a little bit toxic because you end up being codependent on them over the years. And once you do, you start to realize their toxic traits, and you realize, oh my god, I might need to have other friends as well so I can get other opinions, other aspects. And it's better, kind of like a relationship, when you are away from your friends for a certain amount of time and y'all do link back up, you have something to miss. But if you're talking to this person every day, all day, over time you will get tired of each other. Over time their toxic traits will come out. Over time your toxic traits will come out, and you may need a moment to step away and like, ooh, whoa, I need a moment away from you. I can recall a time where I had a friend, and I had like it was like for my birthday. It wasn't nothing big. It was just like, let me just step out. Let's just go to like the club, or let's go to like a hookah lounge. And I invited most of my friends that I knew. It was, granted, it was last minute, but I invited some girls that I knew over time, my associates, homegirls, that I would say like are my friends, but they weren't my best friends. And at the time, my friend who I was starting to deem as toxic, she made the statement and said, that's why I'm your only friend. See, look, I'm the only one who showed up. Yeah, I'm your only friend. Kind of as like to pinpoint or point out an insecurity of mine, that I don't have a lot of friends. And I'm like, even if she did not know that was an insecurity of mine, why would you think that I would take that in a positive way? And then when I called her out on it, she was just so oblivious, like, oh, I was just saying, like, I'm the only one who showed up. In what world would anyone take that as a compliment? That would be such an insult. You basically saying, you have no friends. I'm your only friend. Clock that T. I started to realize over time, like, ooh, I'm starting to see a lot of your negative traits and I'm not liking them. And because we've had more good times than bad, I'm not gonna just outright dismiss the friendship, but I do need to take a step back and get more friends. And that leads me into my next topic. Once you realize that you need to broaden your friend group, you start to realize, where did this originate from? Most of my friends, you can ask anybody who has went to college. I went to college for 1.5 years, 1.5 years, and I dropped out. I dropped out of college, and I wish I would have kept going because I could have made more friends. And ask any of your friends who've went to college, most of their long-term friendships are from people that they went to college with. You have your work friends and you have your college friends. You have your childhood friends as well, but they dwindle down over time too. You may have like 1 or 2 like childhood friends, but your college friends versus your work friends, that's a whole different like subject right there. So to dabble into that a little bit, your work friends they're like weird, you know. It's like they're your friends by default because you guys have to come in the same place every day and work every day, so you have no choice but to socialize with these people over time. Me personally, I don't like work friends. I never keep my work friends because call me weird, I don't see them as real friends. I don't see work friends as real friends. I'm so sorry. I know that sounds weird. And you can make a friend anywhere, at the library, at a restaurant. You can honestly make friends anywhere, but work friends, they ain't my real friends. And you have your people who you went to school with or college with. I mostly say college because it's very rare that you're still friends with people from a high school. I feel like once you go off to college, you just have a totally different friend group. And that friend group, those are people who have something in common with you. You guys both get it out the mud together. Y'all have one common goal, and that is to graduate. Versus work friends, y'all have common goal to make money, but like y'all are in different areas in life. Some people have kids. Some people that you work with may be super old. So they're thinking probably about retirement. You're probably thinking about vacation and all this other stuff. So y'all guys kind of have the same common goal, but I feel like your college friends, you get it out the mud with each other. You guys are working, going to class every day, also trying to have a social life. So your college friends kind of choose you. You know what I'm saying? Your college friends kind of just latch onto you, and you have multiple. Again, both of my best friends actually went to college, and they ended up having long-term friendships from their college friends. Like so I know that sounds crazy. I'm probably like their only high school friend. And I chose to go into the workforce, which I don't want to say I regret it because it needed to be done, but college just wasn't for me. If you're from Jacksonville, Florida, I went to FSCJ. FSCJ is a state college, but it was a community college at one point. To me, it's still considered a community college because they have different campuses. I went to the campus on the west side where it's nothing but a whole bunch of weirdos wearing skinny jeans, jerking. Everyone knows, if you're from Jacksonville, Florida, Kent campus is the weird campus. So I had, I think 1 or 2 classes at Kent campus, and I had another math, and I had 2. So one year I had like a prereq class at North Campus. North Campus was a little bit more cooler, but the people who went there, they're not accepting to weird people. If that makes sense. They have like a no new friends type energy. It's like, you know, if you've been friends with them before, then, you know, they know you, but other than that, they're not trying to get to know you. So I felt like a little bit of an outsider there when I went to North Campus, but nevertheless, the people are a lot more cooler and not as weird as the people on the west side. I don't think I ever went to the South Campus, but it was a lot of palm colored people there. My friend did end up having to go to FSC. My friend ended up going to FSCJ as well. She made a lot of friends there. but she also went off to college in Orlando as well. Dang, what's the name of that college in Orlando? UCF. She went to UCF in Orlando, so she made tons of friends out there. She got a chance to live a college life, broaden her horizon. My guy friend, he went to FAMU, so anybody who know how FAMU is, you know you're gonna make you some friends out there like that. Hello, like that's FAMU. And he was an introvert, he still is, but he was a sheltered kid. I was sheltered, but he was really sheltered. So for him to go to college, come out his shell, he just became someone totally different. And he ended up getting a lot of friends. Versus me, again, I only went to college for 1.5 years, and I did not get a chance to make any friends, sadly. I know that sounds weird, like how you go for 1.5 years and you make no friends? I don't know. I think I was because I also worked too. I didn't go to college full time. I also had a job. So I went to class just for like my hour or two. Sometimes I had Saturday classes, and I was out the door. Like I had to go to work. And this is before I had my son. It's just college wasn't for me. I just had a rough year my senior year. I couldn't stand the people at Ed White. If y'all watching this video, I did not like y'all. I couldn't stand y'all my senior year. Y'all were weird. This is not a hate video. I'm sorry, because I was about to go down a whole rabbit hole. Just know that I didn't like y'all. If y'all were y'all probably like watching we didn't like you either.
Of rainbows and smiles, and we'd all eat it, be happy.
She doesn't even go here.
I don't care. It was the worst year ever. I couldn't stand it, and that's what made me realize I did not have no friends. The previous years, I was very, I don't want to say popular, but I was very well known. I had lots of friends. I dated a popular boy, and that probably helped with my popularity. I was one of the cool kids. Like my 9th grade year, my 10th grade year, my 11th grade year, my junior year, I went to First Coast. And I became a weird girl all over again. Then I went back to Ed White again. And when I went to Ed White, I just did not I didn't like the people. Only reason why I went back because my best friend, which is the Libra, who I'm still friends with to this day, she was going there, and I lived with her my senior year, and I hated it. So I was over school by then, so having friends just was not a thing. I was just ready to make money. I thought I was gonna be this big superstar. I thought I was gonna get into the entertainment business, and it just didn't work out that way. It just didn't. So that's another thing. Having college friends, that will truly help you with your social skills and broaden your horizon, and you will definitely have a multitude of friends that you can even if they're not your best friends, if you see a college buddy, you can always be like, oh, that's my college buddy, what's up, hey girl. You can always hit them up every now and then, if that makes sense. So yeah, I basically dropped out of college because going to college, I felt stupid, I felt dumb. Again, like I said, that was a pivotal point in my life. My home life was not the greatest. It was very just broken. It was a lot going on personally. So going to college and just I just wanted to get away. And I probably should have went to a college outside of Jacksonville, but I felt academically I was not succeeding. I wasn't getting it, and I used to be an AB honor roll student. Matter of fact, I used to have straight A's. But again, my senior year challenged me, because when your home is not the safe place for you, your grades do tend to drop. And people don't know, psychologically, that really messes with you. It gets you depressed. I remember telling my mom, I was so depressed my senior year, and she's so oblivious to it. She's like, you was? Oh my God. I'm like, where were you? It was a lot going on my senior year. It's a lot I couldn't do. When you're used to a certain lifestyle, back when I was younger, my mom used to have a lot, and then financially things changed for us. So I did not care for where I was financially. I'm like, this is my senior year. I don't have what I need to have. I was living with my best friend, for crying out loud. I wasn't in my own home. I didn't have a home to go to. I was basically homeless. And then when it was time for me to go to college, I went to community college, and I didn't go to community college right away. So I felt older, even though, to be honest, I was only 20 years old. I was only 20. Honestly, honestly, I was, oh my God, I can't believe I was only 20 years old and I felt old. I felt like, oh my God, all these 18-year-olds. The girl was only 2 years older, like all these 18-year-olds, all these young people, and I just feel old. I feel like an adult, and why am I here? When they had old people, like people my age now who's deciding to go back to college, I just did not feel like I belonged there, and I academically feel like I wasn't smart. I didn't realize that prereq classes was for everybody. Like, I didn't know till later on. Like, my friends who went to college, I just thought they were way more smarter than me, and turns out they was not as smart at all. I think they just had parents that pushed them. That's another. Wanted to, like, want, like,